This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Thursday, the 22nd day of April in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. As the ExxonMobil Guyana company continues to face problems with a faulty compressor system on the Liza Destiny oil production vessel, the opposition leader Joe Harmon and an opposition team met and held talks today with the president of ExxonMobil Guyana, Alastair Rutledge, and the team from his company. The meeting centered around the ongoing technical problems being faced by the company and the impact the problems may be having on oil production and the company itself. The opposition leader said he also raised the issue of natural gas flaring at the meeting. Speaking to members of the media just after the meeting, Mr. Harmon said he questioned the Exxon officials about the cost attached to the repairs to the compressor system and whether those costs might have to be carried by Guyana.
Exxon made it very clear that these are expenses that will be borne by SBM and MAN. These are two companies that are responsible for the equipment, and that the costs related to that and related costs will not be borne by the people of Guyana. We asked Exxon to provide for us what they consider to be related costs, and that would be costs outside of what SBM and MAN were actually going to be responsible for. And therefore, we asked them to provide that, and they gave a commitment that they will do so.
Mr. Harmon said the assurances given by the Exxon team appear to be genuine, and he will hold them to the commitments made.
I believe that the assurances which were given by the Exxon team, that they appear to be genuine, and I'm prepared to hold them to that. I'll be prepared to hold them to that. They were very frank in their assessment. We have asked for further explanations of certain things, in particular the Gas to Shore project, which they undertook to give us a fuller briefing on it. And so that is my assessment. As I said, I cannot predetermine everything that will happen, but from what I have heard this morning, at least I get a sense, I have a better sense that that Exxon will be responsible, or the SBM and MAN, that these are the other contractors that are engaged in this exercise, that they will be responsible, and that the bottom line for us will not be affected.
The opposition team also questioned the company officials on how they intend to strike a balance between increasing the level of production and managing natural gas flaring.
Well, that's a position which we had some amount of interrogation on. We interrogated them on that position, and the position of actually producing 30,000 to 35,000 barrels per day at pilot light level. And how do you now balance increasing the levels of production to what it was meant to be 120,000 barrels a day? And so on the one hand, you have increasing your levels of production, and on the other hand, you have now this issue of flaring.
The opposition is insisting that the issues be resolved as a matter of urgency and production be safely returned to optimum levels. Last evening, the Exxon company announced that it has ramped up production to between 100,000 to 110,000 barrels of oil per day, even as it continues to address the problem with the damaged compressor. According to the company, the current production levels were defined after careful consideration of safety, environmental, technical, and economic factors, as well as discussions with the relevant government agencies on the best path forward while repairs and upgrades are ongoing. Last week, the company announced that it was forced to reduce oil production to just 30,000 barrels of oil per day after more problems were noticed with a reinstalled compressor system that was recently repaired. More news coming up in just a moment.
Guyana, we've been through it all.
But as a people, we have
weathered every storm
and risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
that gives it its strength.
all the people,
regardless of race,
class, or religion.
We are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
At Sosh Financial, we create strategies for strengthening business and personal finances while helping our clients to build sustainable wealth. Our financial and business consultancy services are uniquely tailored to ensure every client receives quality packages and optimal results. Our financial services include financial reporting and analysis, financial status assessment, internal audits, bookkeeping and records management, financial planning advice, tax returns. Our business advisory services are related to business plans, business startups, operational improvement, business management, document preparation, procedures development, efficient marketing. Call or WhatsApp us today for your free consultation on telephone number 592-665-6045. Sash Financial, strengthening businesses, building wealth.
More employers are using social media to monitor employees. Here are some ways to maintain professionalism online. Never share confidential information about anyone, whether colleagues or clients. Do not share inappropriate posts from work gatherings. Keep company social media posts neutral. Never argue or make offensive comments. Never complain about your job to clients. Remember, what goes online stays online. Stop oversharing and get safe online.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong, be the one to live right.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL.
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
Welcome back. The Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry today said it has noted with tremendous concern the escalating crime situation occurring in the country. While reporting a 29.8% decrease in serious crimes for the year when compared to the same period last year, the Guyana Police Force stated that it plans to tackle a spate of robberies being conducted, especially those by motorcycle riding robbers. In a statement today, the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce said the perpetuation of violent crimes is of great concern to its members, as it directly impacts the welfare of the citizens and enterprises of the country. The president of the Chamber of Commerce, Timothy Tucker, spoke to News Source. He said the situation is worrying.
It's very worrying for the Chamber, and that's why through our Security and Governance Committee, we decided to come out with a statement expressing our worry. Members of the business community, they feel like they're under siege, they feel threatened. So we just wanted to make sure that we have our voices heard in terms of how we feel. I know that the police have said that reported crimes have been done, but perception and reality, we are feeling, the perception is that there's a sudden upsurge, and I know it probably wouldn't come true to the next reporting mechanism of the police force. But even having said that, we would like to see this phenomena that's going on at the moment
The Georgetown Chamber of Commerce is of the view that there is an increasing rate of criminal activities against the business community. Tomorrow, the Chamber will meet with the Minister of Home Affairs and the Police Commissioner.
We think that there's need for the police to act quickly and get this situation resolved. More patrols, just beef up their crime fighting capabilities. We know the police force can do it. The GCCI has reached out to both the Commissioner of Police and the Minister of Home Affairs to have our situation, our concerns raised. Both of them, I must say, have accepted the meetings. We're having meetings with Minister Ben tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow being Friday, we're having meetings. We're having a meeting in the afternoon with the Commissioner of Police as well. So we're hoping to really see how quick we can get this situation resolved. And we're willing to work with the police force and
Earlier this week, a businessman was attacked and robbed while transferring money to the bank, and last weekend, another businessman was attacked and stabbed at his gate after returning home. The Guyana Police Force has indicated that it is working to address the problem. Turning now to health. 3 more coronavirus-related deaths were recorded in the past 24 hours, taking the country's death toll to 277. Since the start of April, Guyana has recorded 44 deaths. April is now tied with last October for recording the most COVID-19 related deaths in a single month. More men are dying from the virus than women. Of the 277 deaths recorded so far, 175 were men, and that represents 63.2% of the coronavirus-related deaths. Already this month has emerged as the month with the highest infection rate. In the past 3 weeks, Guyana has recorded 1,985 new cases of the virus. A total of 102 new cases were recorded in just the past 24 hours. The spike in new cases is coming at a time when the Health Ministry is encouraging more persons to get vaccinated. A number of regions have recorded low numbers of vaccinations, which health officials believe is due to misinformation. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony continues to assure citizens that the vaccines are safe and are currently one of the best weapons in the fight against the pandemic.
The AstraZeneca vaccine is right now used in many countries, and because the benefits outweigh the risk, those countries that have initially put a pause on the vaccines have now restarted, most of them. There are a few, however, that is still reviewing the data, but that's the choice of individual countries. We in Guyana, we have used AstraZeneca vaccine initially in our campaign because we received these doses from Barbados as a donation from the Indian government and from COVAX. And we were satisfied that when we used it in Guyana, we did not have any cases of blood clotting, and we have been monitoring for these cases. So we are very pleased with the results that we have had with these vaccines so far, and we'll continue to use them. So many of the persons who received the first dose would be due for their second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine maybe in a month's time, and we encourage them to come and take their second dose.
Over 110,000 persons have already received their first dose of the COVID vaccine. This weekend, additional vaccination sites are being set up across the country. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken met virtually with foreign ministers of CARICOM yesterday. It was the first meeting between the new U.S. Secretary of State and regional governments. Several matters, including COVID-19 and its economic impact on the region, were discussed. In a statement today, CARICOM said the discussions at the meeting focused broadly around the COVID-19 pandemic and its health and economic fallout, recovery of the regional economy, climate change, and democracy, human rights, and security. During the meeting, CARICOM foreign ministers used the opportunity to implore the U.S. to assist with the region's vaccination drive, as several countries in the region, including Guyana, have been recording a steady rise in COVID-19 cases. Many CARICOM states are depending on the UN-sponsored COVAX initiative to acquire vaccines, but that facility has faced numerous setbacks in meeting its earlier commitments to the region. The top U.S. diplomat expressed his willingness to strengthen cooperation with CARICOM and pledged to engage his colleagues in the U.S. cabinet on the issues which were raised by the CARICOM ministers. During the meeting, CARICOM Secretary General Ambassador Erwin LaRocque spoke of the need for the region to access concessional development financing based on vulnerability, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic and the ongoing volcano situation in St. Vincent. He also spoke about the upcoming hurricane season. CARICOM as well as the United States have also reaffirmed their support for St. Vincent and the Grenadines and pledged to assist in that country's rebuilding efforts. Career Guyanese diplomat Ambassador George Talbot has been appointed as Guyana's new ambassador to CARICOM. He presented his credentials to CARICOM Secretary General Ambassador Erwin LaRocque on Wednesday. Ambassador Talbot was received through a virtual ceremony, which highlighted Guyana's lead role in the Caribbean community's food production and food security. Guyana holds lead responsibility for agriculture, agricultural diversification, and food security in the CARICOM Quasi-Cabinet. Secretary General of CARICOM Ambassador Erwin LaRocque said the Secretariat looks forward to working closely with the new ambassador and his colleagues at this most important time and with the new important initiative of agriculture. Earlier this year, President Irfaan Ali presented a food production and food security agenda item to CARICOM. That agenda outlines in detail a strategy and action plan for transforming agriculture in the region. Ambassador Talbot welcomed the renewed focus on food and nutrition security as a regional priority, including the work being done by a special CARICOM task force. Ambassador Talbot previously served as Guyana's ambassador to Brazil, and before that he served as Guyana's ambassador to the United Nations. Good news for Banks DIH Limited this evening. The company has won the prestigious Coca-Cola Excellence Cup Award for performance excellence in the production and sales of Coca-Cola. The award covers small markets within the Coca-Cola Latin Center business unit and is part of an annual competition. It is the second time that a company has won the award, having first secured the title in 2016 ahead of other leading bottlers in the Caribbean and Latin America that competed in several categories, including sales, health, safety, and the environment. The announcement was made last weekend during the annual awards ceremony of the Latin Center Business Unit. The Human Resources Director at Banks DIH, Andrew Carto, said it is a sense of pride and accomplishment that the company accepts the award. He said Banks DIH Limited reiterates its total alignment with the objectives of the Coca-Cola Company to grow the iconic brand and to build and uphold the attributes of quality, consistency, health, the safety of its employees, and promoting sustainable development both globally and within the communities in which it operates. Mr. Carto also recognized the contribution of the quality management team and the sales and marketing team at Banks DIH Limited. Banks DIH has been a bottling partner with Coca-Cola for over 30 years, when the iconic beverage was officially launched in Guyana. The company said its relationship with Coca-Cola has been a rewarding experience on several fronts, adding that the brand continues to grow in Guyana as its quality also improves. A 25-year-old Charlestown resident was gunned down last evening in his yard, and investigators believe his killer was known to him. Dead is Odingo Anthony Haywood of Drysdale Street, Charlestown. Persons in the area said moments before Haywood was shot dead, he was overheard having an argument with a man in the yard. The man had allegedly robbed one of Haywood's friends earlier yesterday. During the argument, several gunshots were heard, and Haywood was seen collapsing on the roadway, while his killer escaped on foot. Investigators believe the shooter was this man, Lenroy Michael Ford. He has also been identified as being the suspect by other persons who were in the area at the time of the incident. The Guyana Police Force early this morning issued a wanted bulletin for Lenroy Michael Ford for questioning about the murder of Odinga Haywood. The police force is asking anyone with information on his whereabouts to contact the nearest police station or call 911. News source understands that the two men were friends since childhood. Well, for the second time within the past month, a traveler from Guyana has been busted with finches in hair curlers at New York's JFK Airport. According to the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency, a 36-year-old passenger from Guyana was held on Saturday with 40 of the whistling birds concealed in hair curlers inside his luggage. The birds were discovered during a secondary baggage examination and they were all seized. The man who was heading to an address in New York City was not criminally charged, but he was fined $300 and denied entry into the US. The birds were allowed to stay, but he was sent back to Guyana the same day. The birds have been quarantined and will be handed over to the U.S. Department of Agriculture Veterinary Services. There have been several failed attempts by travelers from Guyana to get the birds into the U.S. The whistling birds usually carry a hefty price tag and are used for whistling competitions that could get the winner more than $25,000 US.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
University students, do you know who is seeing what you share online? Prospective employers, recruiters, and graduate schools often screen potential candidates before hiring or approving applications. Sharing inappropriate images or posts and using obscene language online can cost you dearly. Avoid paying the price. 1. Set your account to private. 2. Think twice before you share a post. 3. Get permission before posting details about others. Remember, what goes online stays online. Stop oversharing and get safe online.
I took the vaccine. My name is Gordon Mosley and I took the vaccine on Friday. And I'm encouraging you, if you've made the choice, go take the vaccine. Protect yourself against COVID-19. COVID-19 is no joke. I've been covering the story from day one and it scares me and it should scare you too. So there are vaccination sites all around. Go to the Ministry of Health's Facebook page, follow the information, keep your mask on and go take the vaccine. You'll be happy you did. Across the region tonight, let's start in Jamaica, where the Health and Wellness Minister, Dr. Christopher Tafton, says 40,000 Jamaicans are to receive their second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine in May. Speaking in the House of Representatives yesterday, Tafton said persons who are to receive the second dose of the vaccine will be contacted by telephone or sent a reminder by text message. The health minister encouraged those who have received their first dose to continue adhering to the protocols that have been set out by the government to minimize the spread of the virus. He reminded Jamaicans that one dose of the vaccine does not offer full protection. More than 135,000 Jamaicans have already received the first dose of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. U.S. pharmaceutical company Pfizer says it has identified counterfeit versions of its coronavirus vaccine in Mexico and Poland. The doses were seized by authorities in the two countries and confirmed by tests to be fake. In Mexico, they had false labels, while the substance in Poland was believed to be anti-wrinkle treatment, Pfizer said. The World Health Organization has warned that fake vaccines pose a serious risk to global public health. It has called for them to be identified and removed from circulation. Poland's health minister on Wednesday stressed that the risk of counterfeit doses appearing in official circulation was practically non-existent. And finally tonight, international news. 6 hospitals in the Indian capital city of Delhi have completely run out of oxygen, and doctors say other hospitals have just a few hours worth of supply left. A number of people have died while waiting for oxygen, and more than 99% of all intensive care beds are full. India is in the grips of a second wave of COVID infections, and earlier today it recorded the highest one-day tally of new cases anywhere in the world. The country has recorded close to 16 million confirmed infections. The country has recorded more than 314,000 new coronavirus cases in the past 24 hours, while deaths rose by more than 2,100. There have been reports of state authorities stopping oxygen tankers from traveling to other states, according to the Delhi television station NDTV. Some facilities have been accused of hoarding their supplies. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting. Stay safe.